Welcome to a series of videos on creating higher profits through improved employee performance. My name is Darsweil Rogers, and I'm the founder of RMCstrategies.com and Rogers Management Consultants. Over the course of the next few videos, I'm going to explain to you and give you a number of steps and processes that you can implement that will have a direct and immediate impact on your profitability. Some of these are implementable right away. Some other ones are going to take a little bit more effort in terms of you getting your organization pointed in the right direction. But what's important to understand is that the goal of these videos and the goal at RMC Strategies is to make you more effective in terms of managing your organization. My experience as a coach and consultant is that managers complain about their employees more than all other complaints combined. And it's really remarkable that their goal, obviously, with their employees is to get them to do what the heck they want them to do. And they are always struggling to figure out how to accomplish that. There's a couple of interesting comments I hear from managers, and I wonder if you've heard something along these lines or even uttered them. Management would be really simple if it weren't for all those employee issues. Or, I didn't accomplish anything today because I just had to deal with people problems all day. Those sorts of comments speak directly to the fact that some managers don't understand the core of what management is. In other words, achieving things through other people. And so what we're going to do in the course of these videos is talk you through some of the basic elements that are necessary for you to actually make progress in terms of getting your employees to be far more productive. Let me tell you a little bit of my story to understand how I got to the point of founding RMC Strategies and Rogers Management Consultants. I've been advising companies for over 25 years on business issues. I have been a lender, I have done financings, I have managed and run an insurance operation, so I've advised companies on risk, on finance, on capital structure. I've started a few businesses. I'll speak about one specifically in just a minute. As well as just advising clients over the years in terms of what it is that they need to do to improve their business. I actually got a true what I call a baptism by fire in terms of the management process when during the course of my career I wanted to make a transition from financing the acquisition of companies, financing leverage buyouts, to actually running an organization. I worked for a major Wall Street firm, and they offered me the opportunity to start from scratch an insurance brokerage operation. We were going to be selling employee benefits, property and casualty, life insurance, and title insurance, and we were going to sell it to the firm's business customers. And up until that point, the majority of my management had been of teams. You pull together a team of 2 or 3 people, nothing very elaborate. I went from that to running an organization that we hired 50 people from 12 different organizations in a 12-month period. And over the next 7 years, we had over $400 million in insurance premium. At one point, we were actually the fastest growing insurance brokerage company in the United States. And it's remarkable the issues that take place when you have to manage a group of people day in and day out on a consistent basis. Now, I mentioned that I hired these people from 12 different organizations, which basically means that we had at least 12 different valid approaches on how we would do a number of things. So we're talking about everything from our sales approach, our customer service approach, how we would, what technology we would select to use, how we were going to handle financial management, how we were going to handle compensation for salespeople and for non-salespeople. We all understood what our primary goal was. Our primary goal was that we wanted to sell insurance products to the firm's customers. The question was, how do you go about it? So I like to describe, and those who used to work for me would hear me talk about, we had this very clear goal, and so we were all headed in the same direction, but it was like all headed in the same direction on an interstate highway. What we needed to do was to narrow the path that we were going to follow in terms of achieving that. And that is really one of the key challenges that management has, and is one of the great opportunities in terms of improving the profitability of your organization when you can get people not just going in the same direction, but going in the same direction on the same path. So I understand what it means to have to create a team, and not just create it one time, but to keep the evolutionary realities of having to upgrade, improve, change your strategy, change your approach over time. I understand the challenges of inspiring people to follow the path that's been laid down by management. These are things that I really came to understand. And as it relates to improving your profitability, I really have come to conclude that there are 4 key things that are very relevant that have to be achieved if you're going to have that continual improvement in profitability as a company grows. One of the great things that you discover once you do have a team that is on the same page is that you can set just about any goal in front of them and they're going to be in a position to achieve it. So let me tell you what the 4 key areas are that we're going to discuss in these videos. And those 4 topics are going to be as follows. The first one is we're going to cover communication. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, and as it relates to a business, that is really critical. And the larger the business, the more important is that you are very clear in terms of what the message is that you want to get out to people. And one of the key things that's not often understood or appreciated by management is that communication has to be a two-way street. So we're actually going to have a video specifically just focused on communication and the issues and the challenges and the right approach to go about, in effect, communicating to your employees what's necessary to, in effect, get them to move in the direction that you're asking them to move. The next video will be on training. It's remarkable the lack of training that takes place, and it doesn't really matter what size the organization is. Training is lacking. We are asking people to do things without having fully trained them on dealing with all the eventualities or the challenges that they may be confronted in that particular position that you're asking them to do. So we're going to not just talk about the challenges around training, but I'm going to offer for you a strategy to training that has proven to be most effective in terms of getting people to move beyond the concept to actually integrating the information and the steps in the process in terms of what it is that you're doing. The next video is going to be on a clear management process. And what I mean by that is once you have your message out there and once your people know what they're doing, then it really comes down to how effectively you are going to manage the activity that these people have been trained to do. And so the question around management process and what does a clear management process look like and what are the key elements that you need to understand and appreciate in that regard are going to be very important. And then the last topic is going to be something that is very much near and dear to my heart, and it is one of the great differentiators between mediocre companies, good companies, and great companies, is instilling in your entire organization a commitment to continuous improvement. One of the main things I want to communicate to you in this particular video is the fact that being a good manager is mostly about understanding what your organization does not have and delivering that to them. Be that you deliver to them yourself or you bring resources to the table, be they outsourced resources, be they additional employees that will in effect elevate the overall organization to go in the right direction. And finally, what I really want to emphasize here is that when you begin to think about the way your company operates, it is the people that actually make you money. Frequently, we tend to think in terms of things. You may buy some new technology, you might buy a number of other elements, but it's the people that make the money for you. So it's important that you understand that you need to commit your most valuable resources to your people, your most valuable resources being your time and your money. And so what I want you to do at this point is to go to the next video, which will be on communication. I also, if you haven't already done so, go to the rmcstrategies.com website and give us your contact information so that you can be alerted whenever we have additional information that's very relevant. There's also additional videos on the site as well as articles and other things that you'll find very valuable. I'll see you in the next video.